I bought tickets to Malaysia and didn't really have any real plans or idea of what to do. I only wanted to go scuba diving. And 2 weeks before my flight, I finally started to plan something and came to the realization that my trip wouldn't be as I envisioned. I was hoping to go island hopping and scuba diving here and there, but I didn't know it would be in monsoon season and many of the best Malaysian islands would be closed off. Suddenly, my options were quite limited and I find myself really struggling to fill my time. I initially didn't want to visit Malacca. It looked boring from videos and many people said it was simply a small and worse version of Georgetown in Penang. Still, I decided to go. It's so close from Kuala Lumpur, a mere 2 hours bus ride, and people say it's lovely. Why not? And yeah, I won't lie. Malacca didn't blow me away immediately. It was my first destination in Malaysia, and I didn't know what to expect from this country. I was getting used to their scorching weather, local food, weird coffee, and honestly, a little lost. But when I look back, it might have been my favorite city. Well, let's start with this weather. Damn, it's hot. Scorching hot. Like, really hot and humid. I was shocked by how civilized and constrained the local population live their lives. Honestly, if it was me, I'd be walking around semi-naked most of the time, with a freezing cold beer in my hand. It seems only the logical and reasonable thing to do. But you can rest assured I didn't do it, even though it was a close call. Sightseeing Malacca consists of checking out some tourist destinations and then finding a convenience store with its aircon blasting. Rinse and repeat. And then, in the afternoon, it rains. It cools down a little, people get happy, and 2 hours later, you can't even tell you rained because it's so hot again. When you're there isn't an awful lot of things to see. If you're staying in the town center, nearby the river and Jonker Street, everything will be in walking distance, with a few exceptions. You can go to the Windmill Dutch Square and check out the church, walk a little to St. Paul's Church and Fort Ruins. It's in a hill and you can have a nice view of Malacca. You can also walk around the river and its little alleys filled with street art, small restaurants, bars and stuff. And then later in the day, you get a taxi and check Masjid Salat, the floating mosque, for a nice sunset view. And again, to be fair and honest, nothing is mind-blowing. Malacca is just a nice quiet town where you can experience the best things of Malaysia in a small scale, without the cons of overly touristy areas. And to be fair, that is great. The local population is really nice. Everyone is just minding their own business and you don't see people pushing you to buy or consume anything. And the food is great too. I'm myself a vegetarian, and all places I've been to Malaysia, I only experienced better food in Penang, which is to be expected. Food is the main thing over there. But the restaurants are crazy good here too, and so lovely. You can find those old Chinese houses from the 17th or 18th century that were turned into shops or restaurants, and having a meal there is just fabulous. They're so beautiful and full of details and intricate, and the nice food and delicious nasi lemak just adds to the experience. But above all, what struck me the most was how peacefully the local population lived together. It might be up to debate, but the two main touristy attractions in the city are a Catholic church and a Muslim mosque. And yet, you see no animosity or hostility between all the different ethnic groups. I only stayed there for 2 days and I might be wrong, but that's my impression, and that's probably the impression all tourists get as well. I won't pretend I know a lot about Malaysian history. The little I know, I learned just before my trip and when I was there. But still, I really recommend going to Melaka. It's a vital piece of Malaysian history. You can see traces of Portuguese, Dutch, and British colonization. And if I'm not mistaken, it is where Islam started to spread in the country too. So either way, if you're just a foodie or a history buff, I'm sure there will be something there for you, and you will most likely enjoy your time. And speaking of that mosque I mentioned earlier, Masjid Salat, or the floating mosque, even though you're not a Muslim, I think you should go there because it's quite beautiful, the view is nice, the scenery is quite cool. It's a little bit further from everything else, but if you take a taxi, it should be cheap. I think you're expected to pay 10 or 15 ringgit, which is, I don't know, $3 American dollars. So it won't break your bank. And when you're there, don't go inside unless you're a Muslim and you want to pray. Just take this track. It's slightly to the left. You might have to walk 5 minutes and go to this track through the beach. But then you reach this area where you have like this nice distance from the mosque and you can see the sea, the sun, some sea otters playing around, and it's quite nice. Or you can just go to this gate next to the mosque. I'm pretty sure there will be a lady there selling water bottles, and if you buy one from her, she will let you use a shortcut that would take you to the sunset view area in like 1 minute walking. Just don't be a loser. When you're there, you'll see plenty and plenty of bottles there, plastic bottles that people just leave. Actually, the whole area around the mosque is quite unique, to say the least. It feels like a ghost town. I don't know why, but everywhere you look, you see those constructions that never finish, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people living there. But they obviously had big plans, and this was meant to be a Muslim suburb, but I don't know what happened. So if you're from Malacca or you just happen to know what happened, please leave a comment, because I'm quite curious. And yeah, I think 2 days are more than enough for you to see Malacca. Even though I'm telling you that's interesting and you should visit there, I think enough is enough, and after 2 days you actually get bored, so you might as well go somewhere else, because I'm sure there's plenty to see in Malaysia, a lot of places that I didn't visit. It really depends on the season you go, but I recommend 2 days, more than enough. Even 1 day, you can still see the highlights. And it's super easy to get there from Kuala Lumpur. All you have to do is go to the main bus station. You can get a taxi, it'll be cheap. And once you're there, just go to the ticket counters. You get a bus to Melaka. I think they have buses leaving every 30 minutes or hour. And it's usually 10 ringgit, really cheap. That's like $2-3 American dollars. So yeah, 2 hours with aircon. They're not small, like you're comfortable in the ride, and that's it. That's it for me. So thanks for watching, and see ya.